That's not a camper! That's a fully operational Death Star! Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV, living up to my nerdy name with the Rockwood HW277 Popup camper. And this thing right here, like I said, it ain't a pop-up, it's a fully operational Death Star. This is what I call a suitcase camper or a mutant. And I call it that with the most love possible and the most respect, because it's a fully fledged travel trailer that just happens to all fold up, squish down, and compact into a smaller, more towable, about 32 to 3,300 pound package right here. Now, quick housekeeping note, Rockwood and Flagstaff are the same thing. So I will leave a little note on the screen here, let you know what the equivalent Flagstaff model number is this. So this is one video that could apply to 2 RVs. What this is giving us is like all the big features, and in some ways bigger features than a travel trailer in a smaller towable package. Awesome for parking in the garage. Awesome if you live in an HOA and you have to squirrel this thing away, like you gotta pretend you don't have nice things and you don't want to show off to the neighbors. Awesome if you're going to be going out in like trails and things like that, say like national parks or whatever, where well, some national parks, there's some national parks that don't allow soft side stuff, so always check that ahead of time. But it's small, it's mobile, it's light, it's awesome for smaller vehicles, or frankly people who just don't want to tow anything too awful big, but you want a big trailer to get there. This might be 11 pounds of camper in a 5-pound sack right here. But it's got a full-fledged kitchen inside, like with an oven. You've got an outside camp kitchen, a bathroom that's fully self-contained, not a cassette toilet, which is something sometimes people don't like. And that's the kind of info I want to give you. And what I'd like you to give me is tell me what you like, tell me what you dislike, and if you appreciate the fair looks at things like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's hop inside. All right, so you walk in, you pop your head to the left, and this is just about what we're gonna be looking at right here with that big, giant U-dinette slide. Not to mention this thing has an extremely tall ceiling. It makes this thing look and feel absolutely enormous by comparison. But again, it's a fully operational Death Star. It has a full kitchen with an oven, not just like a little cooktop that floats inside and outside. And it has about half an acre of counter space over here. And just to give you a size reference point, I mentioned this has a big, tall ceiling. I'm about 6'2", 6'3". I've got to do like a big time stretch to get my hands up here. This is well over 7 foot tall. What's funny is this Highwall pop-up has more headroom clearance than almost any fifth wheel I've ever seen in their upper deck. Now, in addition to a fully equipped kitchen, you know, part of that is a full double basin sink. I've got that one little dish drying rack sink over there. You got to remember when you are traveling, and you'll kind of learn this as you go, but you do need to make sure that faucet high rise right there, it basically like folds down so that it kind of slots down into the sink. Otherwise, you try to drop the roof, you gonna bust it. Anyway, moving around here, what do we got? We've got a full one-piece entry door, which Flagwood, Rockstaff, whatever you want to call them here, they've adopted very well. And once again, I've done only a quick setup on this. You're seeing the daylight there because obviously I was not detail oriented enough to make sure that little Velcro catch went all the way up. One of the things you're not seeing though is you see these how there's like a middle section in that door. Remember the old school bus windows? You push the 2 latches in and then the panel slides up and down. The bottom or the top panel can be raised or lowered appropriately to give you, you know, light and airflow how and when you want them. And perfect segue. I couldn't have done this if I tried because I'm not that smart. Speaking of light and airflow, how about the little hanging bunk light fans? Some smaller, more budget-friendly pop-ups don't tend to have things like this. I do want to point out one thing, though. I only located one of these in the storage compartments of the camper. Historically, it came with 2, so either I haven't located the other one, or they've made a change, or this one may be shipped with a shortage. I haven't been able to verify that at the time of this filming. So if you're curious about do I get 1 or 2 of those, call our team member so we can dive into that for you. Now up front here, we have not just a king bed, like a 70 by 80 big king bed, but it is also heated. I just happened to drop the little hand controller back here behind that hanging storage closet. So if you want to have yourself one heck of a little camping butt burner, you got her right there. Now, regular viewers, you're going to know I've got a special name for these little you know, additional kind of duffel bag storage things. And I like the little drop storage pockets that they have where they're perfect for keeping your phones, you know, near you at night if that's what you want or something like that, or socks and undies, as it were. But leave me a little comment. Do you know what I call those little hanging hammock things? That was a hint, by the way. And I'll tell you what, as if you didn't have enough countertop space over here in the primary kitchen, you've got two more chunks of it over here. Household outlets near each bed, which is also kind of nice. And then down here, we got ourselves that multi-way refrigerator. And what I mean by that is this is a three-way fridge. So it's got a park power or generator power function. It has the propane function like a lot of fridges, but it does still have a 12-volt DC function. So if you want to keep that running while you're going down the road so that your vehicle is replenishing the power that is drawing off the battery, you can do so. It's travel safe. You don't got to worry about spoilage and your, stuff rotting on you. I call that Fleetwood Macking it because you can go your own way. And that's about as good as it's going to get today. Obviously, could be better. Down here, TV hookups, because this big giant counter space could also be your little entertainment. You saw there's some storage below that as well. There's also a kitchen water filter in there. Now, in the bottom of this little storage compartment, that is a little outdoor, table, basically, that hooks on the side of the RV next to the griddle that we're going to see. I wanted to put something in there just to give you a size reference. And then, you can't have overhead shelving in something like this because the top pops up and down. So what they do is they include not one, but two, count them, two, of these, hanging cabinet wardrobes. Like, I've heard them called a bunch of different things over the years, but hanging storage, basically. Now, we've already kind of seen the kitchen at a glance. I want to get you a little bit more detail here. There's no sidewalls where they can mount outlets, but thankfully, Flagwood is pretty good about putting outlets in their pop-ups wherever they can. You see that this RV is solar prepped and ready. We're going to get a little bit more of a look at that outside. Actually, I think in our floor plan and a flash footage, I already got you some of that, so you kind of have an idea. The solar prep plug actually located below the cargo rack, but that doesn't mean that's where you have to install a panel. Now, this is, again, every little space they utilized where they could, because, man, in any kind of pop-up camper, storage is such a premium. But notice how we're actually looking at an exterior baggage door right there. That's something that we'll get a look at from the outside. That's actually a cool little pass-through storage compartment. A utensil organizer, a space to put forks, spoons, and knives. It's amazing how many fully enclosed travel trailers don't have a single drawer. And frankly, some of those are even starting to get kind of spendy and then not giving us a single drawer in the kitchen. To me, it's just mind-boggling. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, over here again, fully equipped kitchen, awesome counter space, but a full microwave and oven. You can cook the whole meal in here. Now, these, if you look at those doors, there's hinges on both sides. They didn't make a mistake. Those are access panels. They made them look nice, but those are access panels to the back of the camp kitchen. There's not really storage available there. However, where there was a pocket available, if there was air, you can put something over there, basically. Now, right up top above us here, we have a couple interesting things. First of all, you've got the bigger Max Air style vent fan, where, the RV does have roof air conditioning, as you recall. Again, that fully travel trailer equipped camper, the mutant factor that I've talked about a little bit. But that requires big power like a generator or park power, whereas that fan, it's just 12 volt operated. Now, a lot of people look at this one and they get stumped. That is a clothes hanger, so that if you do have some hanging clothes, you got a spot for it. Now, I get that it's kind of weird having that next to your kitchen. There's just only so many places they could put it. Nothing says you have to use it. But notice you've got this runner, this guide, and all these hooks hanging down right here. Well, that's not so you can hang your catch of the day, the catch du jour, if you will. There's actually a privacy curtain where if you want to close off the front and back of the camper, you can do that. More on that in just a second. First, though, back here, we have ourselves a 60 by 80 queen. We have a king up front, a queen in the back. They are both heated, and they both have the hashtag baby hammock up there, which once again, I don't recommend you actually put it. Somebody, oh my Lord, somebody sent me a picture as a joke from watching my videos. They set their baby up there. Please don't do that. It's just a stupid name, guys. Anyway, now, privacy. So you have a privacy curtain, You could think, okay, well, maybe that's for the bed space in the back. Well, the bed has its own privacy curtain. This big cutoff curtain, I think, is actually a little more suited for the fact that if someone's going to be using the bathroom over here, you can give them a little bit more visual privacy. Now, in the 2021 model year version of this, they went away from the hard side bathroom enclosure. And a lot of people are like, why no hard side? I don't know the answer as to why. I don't know if it's supplier related. I don't know what. I just know they're only doing the curtain style up here. You can see that curtain runner. I just haven't hung the curtain because I've only done a quick setup here. By the way, these Highwall pop-up videos, they take me more time than a fifth wheel toy hauler because there's so many moving pieces to this. So apologies if I am doing just a quick setup on some points. A little understanding would be greatly appreciated on here. But what is your take on the bathroom shower situation? One, do you even care? Would you even use it? And two, would you rather have the curtain or the hard side? Maybe we can get some consistent feedback back to Flagwood here. All right, back on the outside here. I don't know how I missed this before. I obviously did a very poor job wrapping that little Velcro sleeve around the lifter arm right there. So that's on me, not on them. I've also done kind of just a quick setup here for video purposes. While we're looking up top, let's talk a couple things. So right up there on the roof, remember, we do have a full air conditioner. There's also a Pro Rack cargo rack mount where, like, if you want to add a cargo pod or like bike racks or something, you can transport those on the roof of the camper. Recommendation, take the stuff down before you lift the pop-up roof up. I've seen people make that mistake and have to fold their pop-up up to bring the roof down to get their stuff off. Oops, that kind of stuff can happen. There's also a solar prep plug in case you want to like add some roof solar panels. And the prep plug is located kind of under the cargo rack mounts, but you could always like put the panels where you wanted, then just run the cord where you need it. Over here, this is kind of interesting. It's not a lot of pop-up campers come with a full-on stable step system right here, but hey, there's Rockwood doing Rockwood things for you. You know what I mean? Or Rockstaff, Flagwood, once again, whatever you prefer. Now remember I said there was a little inside-outside storage cubby right there. That's this guy. Now, normally when there's an inside-outside storage cubby, I really like it when there's a trash can in there. That's a little too small to do that. What would you use that primarily for inside stuff or outside stuff? Like, how would you utilize that thing? I'd be kind of curious to know. You notice how we do have that awning up top, that Thule awning. That is one of those kind of, like almost Scandinavian sort of pronunciations. Most of us look at that here in the States and call it Thule, but that's Thule. Thule, like think like the Swedish Chef, you know what I mean, from the Muppets, and there you go. Now the whole tent side material of this stuff, this is called Duratec, and frankly most builders of pop-ups or hybrids are using something like this, but if you weren't aware, we call that canvas from years past in the industry. It's not actually canvas anymore. It is a 5-layer composite. The material itself is waterproof, obviously with a pop-up. You've got seams all over the place. Now, it should be able to keep water from getting inside, but fact is, in a wicked driving rain, with crazy sideways winds, it is possible to still get spritzed a little bit here and there, potentially around the slide out where there are more seams. Again, real talk. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I'm going to tell you what you're really looking at with one of these because you work hard for your money. So hard for it, honey. So stupid. Anyway, over here, this has a great camp kitchen setup. Notice too, you can do your main dish and your side dishes all out here. You've got the griddle included and the little 2-burner stove, not to mention almost a classic little just like tote tub style drawer out here, which I think is very cool. Now notice this too, this is very interesting to me. Their outside sink actually does have a cover, little things like that. Just it's impressive the little things they've done differently on this. It's those kind of things I really appreciate. By the way, in case you're kind of curious, like what am I looking at over here? This is a gas grill quick connect that hooks to that powers the stovetop. That's what that is. They have to be able to disconnect this moving thing outside to maintain code. But if you look back here, you actually can see how the sink does have a drain tube. It's not just like gonna dribble out onto the ground or something like that. Nice little touch on these. These do ride a little bit bigger, a little bit higher as compared to most pop-ups, which also means they come by default with a little bit bigger, better tire. And one of the cool things I like that Flagwood does is they put a hard shell cover on the spare tire to keep the sunshine from eating that thing alive. Because the sun is it is a cruel mistress. We love it when it's warm outside, but we hate everything it does to us. You know what I mean? Now, if you look under that bed platform right there, you're like, what is that a trap door? What, is that an escape hatch? What is that thing? Open the pod bay doors, Hal. That is actually the travel door. So the lower section of the camper, when you fold this all down, that's the door that goes in place when she is closed up, as I like to call it, for road mode. Now, over here, again, very, very uncommon for folding campers, or pop-ups as we commonly call them, is the fact that this is like fully self-contained, that it has its own onboard sewer, fresh gray, black, everything. It's not a cassette style. It is a full travel trailer that just folds down. And I get that that's like very uncommon. Some people like that, some people don't. I'd kind of be curious to know, why do you like or dislike that? What are the big motivations behind it? Does it prevent you from camping? Do you find it easier? Let me know. And it's a little thing, but I want to show you everything I can. That's why I take the time to do all this. Remember I said there is storage behind, like under the dinette. We kind of saw the one side. Well, I threw a bunch of stuff over here. That's the bench that we kind of saw under. And this is a dog leg left, but it's better than nothing. And, again, I threw a bunch of stuff in here. I threw all the fans. I folded a whole bunch of stuff up, like those hanging storage things to put in here. But easily, the most important object that comes with this camper is the Zombinator 9000 right here. Because not only is this certified to prevent you, to keep you protected from gas station murder hobos, look at this thing. It is certified zombie apocalypse rated, so that if you are ever attacked by a zombie, you can be like, call an ambulance, but not for me. Mr. Carden Dowd, ladies and gentlemen, actually joined our team here from Myrtle Beach. I don't think he quite knew the good weather he was leaving and what he was getting into here in the Midwest, but he's adapting well. We're super happy to have him on our team. If you're curious about one of these, I don't know, give Mr. Carden a call. Over here, you notice you've got, again, it's a fully equipped travel trailer. Like, you have a water heater right on board. You have your full outside utility shower, even cable TV hookups down there below that. Front and rear stabilizer jacks. It has all the things. For instance, you've got a giant battery box on this. Now, this is kind of confusing sometimes to people. This ships with an empty battery box, and that kind of messes people up. Rockwood doesn't actually include a battery on these, but they do include double propane tanks. Now, we fill those for you, which is kind of nice. This also has a power jack, or not jack, no, because that's a manual jack, a power lift system doing all the heavy lifting for you. Ooh, sorry, I don't want to make you motion sick and jerk around too much, so pardon the pause right there. In addition to the roof solar prep, you also have a little side prep plug right there. So let's say you are, chasing the sun a little bit. Let's say you've got her parked in the shade, but you want to be able to keep the lights and the fans running. Well, you can get one of those side mount portable kits, those little solar suitcases, and you can run that cable out, park that thing in the sun while you're sitting here under the awning sipping your iced tea, whether it's the conventional variety or maybe more of a Long Island version. I'm just looking at myself in the viewfinder over here, and when I scrunch up my face like that in the sun, I'm really starting to look a lot like my grandfather. But, I suppose I came by that honestly. Anyway, now I'm all waxing poetically over here. Some of my favorite memories as a kid were growing up camping with my grandparents. Now, they had fully enclosed travel trailers and some fifth wheels. They never had a pop-up like this. But it doesn't matter. If it's big or small, you can have the same kind of fun with them. if you'd like to see where we have one of these parked, whether it's Rockwood or Flagstaff versions, I will leave you a link in the video description where you can check those out. And short of that, folks, any other things that we can do for you, leave me some comments. Let me know what you like and dislike, or if you have any questions that I haven't answered, I'll do my best to fill in. So until next time, you take care, stay safe, have fun, and best wishes from Bishes, everyone.